Hello and welcome to the Lich Guild. We're doing stories from past D&D campaigns, and the one we've decided to start off with is Bear Force 1.
Yay!
I hate you all for this.
I'm here with... I'm Vox, I'm here with Butler, and we have our friend Marin, who has frequently played D&D with us.
Yay!
For the record, I'd like to establish from the offset I was the unfortunate GM for most of these situations, or DM, or whatever we're calling it this time
You
of the
were
week.
the best though for letting it.
For letting us get away with this, for starters.
Mainly because I'd written nothing, so any story you created was benefiting me.
Right, well...
I should tell people that.
No, it's part of my plan. I planned it all along.
It was very early on, wasn't it? We were like... weren't we like level 1 or something?
Second track or something, yeah. Second
Yeah,
go.
it was fairly early. It was... Was it when you were travelling to the burnt out village? No, wait, that happened afterwards, didn't it?
Yeah,
We were travelling somewhere special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can't remember anymore.
You were travelling to the village for the first time, I think, before it got burnt down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we happened across a bear. And being D&D, we then proceeded to battle and slaughter said bear.
Yay!
And that was until we noticed that there were... How many? There were several bear cubs.
Five cubs.
Bear
Five,
cubs.
and there were 6 of us.
And I went, oh, let's adopt them.
And then Isaac went straight, got a piece of meat. Got a piece of the mum, I think.
Yes,
And
it was.
slid it over him so he smelled their dead mum.
Yeah.
And then walked up to one of them and started trying to tame them. And
It was hilarious.
Somehow it worked.
It turned into sort of a training montage of people trying various techniques to tame these bears.
Yes.
It was very amusing from my point of view because I was like, you could just literally pick them up and they'd probably follow you around. But everyone was trying different things.
Yeah.
I think as a gnome I tried to actually talk to one.
Yeah, I think you were trying to
tried
talk
actually
to
talk
it.
mine. Remember when I talked to the Dimitri the Russian rabbit?
Oh
Yeah.
Christ.
That's another story, but...
The animals in
That's
this
another story
campaign,
for later.
yeah, the animals were kind of interesting. But the whole reason these bears were here, this is why I was so annoyed about this. The whole reason these bears were there, because basically I was like watching, because it was like one of my first times GMing. It was like my second campaign. The first one was a disaster, but we'll get to that probably at some point.
Yeah.
It was like my second time doing my second time like DMing, my first time doing a proper campaign, and I was reading lots of tips and things and suggestions in the books and watching videos and things. And one suggestion was to make your monster's motivations make sense, and there was a whole section on it for animals, and it said animals will not actively attack a group of armed adventurers. They will usually go for easier prey. The only times they would attack is if they're, say, defending their young. So I thought, oh, that's cool. I'll put that down as a random encounter where they might encounter a bear mother defending its cubs. And I rolled that in this particular forest, and then the whole debacle ensued because I forgot that when you introduce cute little animals to a party, they immediately adopt them.
We went from there to this village we were travelling to, and we were asked what we could how we could utilize these bears in game, and we were like, they're too young to do anything with. So we said,
it was you that said, "Can we train them?"
My God.
So I suggested that we train them, and then we all voted to take a 2-year in-game break to just stay in this village, buy a house between us, and just train these bears.
Yeah. Right, here was the thing. They were saying about the use of these bears, and so I, as a joke and effectively designed as a deterrent, said you will have to wait about 3 years for them to mature and train them and stuff. So it's probably best to So in my mind, it was it's best to leave them, right? That's what any sane person would do. But no, the worst part was in this particular campaign, the political climate was really tense. There were factions on the edge of war. And the party decided, screw that, we're gonna tame bears for 3 years.
It was great.
Throughout the
At which point
entire
just-
campaign, no one really gave a shit about the political landscape of
Yeah,
your campaign.
I don't think we
I
even
spent
learned
so
very much
long.
about it.
Yeah, I spent so long writing up all this political intrigue and stuff that the party would discover over time and avert wars. And no, they sat on their ass and trained bears for 3 years. So all the wars that were going to happen happened.
So anyway, we just skipped ahead to 3 years later, and by this point we had these bears brilliantly trained. We had a specially designed cart that
We had one very, very charismatic bear that was
Yes.
awful at
Oh,
fighting,
God.
that had a fabulous
we had to
quiff
roll
and could
their
charm
stats and
anyone.
everything as well.
Yeah, they became like cartoon characters because they all had like one specific trait they were good in half the time.
I remember
So there's
mine
like
was
one with
called
a
Luna.
mohawk. Yeah.
Didn't mine have a quiff or something?
Yours had a quiff. Isaac's had a mohawk, I think. I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Isaac's. Yeah.
Isaac was the charismatic one. Mine was just like a casual, generic one.
Yeah.
I think mine was the only bear-like one that we had.
Yeah, yours like standard bear because nature gnome
Yeah. Typical druid thingy.
or natural.
Oh, natural, yes.
I like my bears au natural.
Oh, goodness.
This is also
So-
where you befriended the mayor, wasn't it? Mayor Merrill.
Yes,
I
we
remember
got.
her.
So after
Before she got PTSD.
Oh
we-
god,
we-
I remember that!
So the idea was that over these 2-3 years, we'd built up a rapport with the rest of the village and the townsfolk, and we became like this village's protectors, essentially. And
Yeah,
like, oh, it's-
they were half like, oh yeah, okay. Like at first it was just the twats with the bears, but then it sort of turned into when the bears grew older, it became like, yeah, these bears could actually protect the village kind of thing. Like
Yeah, bear
they went from like the comedy act to the actual like guardians of the town sort of thing. And the mayor got quite buddy with them.
until
was
we let
kind
them
of
all
fun.
down, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So
That
after
we let them
this,
down so well.
after these like 2-3 years, we were ready to set off and into the world and carry on doing what we were supposed to be doing.
Whatever that was. at
Whatever
this
that
point.
was.
Years later.
And what was it? When we left, we had my bear had a specially fitted cart.
Bear cart.
Bear cart.
And bear armor.
And we all had bear armor as well. It was great. So as
Armor
there was
for
like
days.
there was like a massive leaving ceremony as we all left the village and they all waved us off. And we set off to do the rest of the campaign. Now, what that was, I don't remember because all I remember is bears. But
So,
I remember there was some
you-
conflict
remember
with dwarves.
constantly.
Oh yeah, we were called. Important piece of information. We decided to call it Bear Force One.
Bear Force 1.
Yeah.
I can't remember who.
Bear
I think was
Force
it
One.
Duncan that came up with that name.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Duncan came over.
And I remember this was our first campaign where we had a map as well. And we were constantly looking on all the islands around the main one, like, that could
Oh,
be
yeah.
Bear Force Island. That could be Bear Force Island. Can we steal that one? We're going to come back to that one.
It was quite hilarious because the scale of the map was kind of janky, and I drew an island on it, like a big island at the bottom, which the party eventually decided that was going to be Bear Force One's island. It was going to
Yeah.
be Bear Island.
Obviously.
Bear Island was where it was going to be. Was it you who said that, Marin? Because like it was Game of Thrones, wasn't it?
No,
Bear
it was Lewis that was very much like, we should have an island and then we can set up more forces and we can bring in more bears.
I know. I can't remember who said it was called Bear Island though, but it ended up as Bear Island.
It might have been
Yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah, and very quickly the quest went from whatever you were supposed to be doing again to taking over Bear Island as the final goal.
Basically, we followed our own personal created side quest.
I mean,
Yeah.
going by this and the channel name, and a theme that you'll probably see appearing later on in other videos we do, I like the idea of guilds and leading guilds.
Fucking obsessed
yes.
with guilds.
One could say this is where it started.
Yeah, it probably did actually. Um,
Yeah. You actually did get a guild by the end of it though. Well, kind of.
kind
You
of,
got a bunch
yeah.
of goblin slaves, effectively, is what they did.
Yeah.
Because-
Guild.
Because they went around doing kind of the assigned missions, kind of what they were supposed to be doing vaguely.
Yeah.
And stuff they'd encountered along the way. Most of it ended terribly, and they actually doomed a lot of
Yeah.
people to horrible deaths. But by simply killing monsters and stuff, they managed to get loads of level ups.
So we went over to we saw the island on the map. We thought we'll go over there, And
With one bear by this point. We'd lost all the others. We only had one bear
Had we?
to create this
oh
bear
yeah,
island.
my bear was the only one
Yeah.
left.
The
Poor
majestic
Luna.
quiff bear, who was carrying all the other dead bears' armor in its car.
Yeah. So we were making our way over to this island, and we come across this village. What was the village? Who populated the village? Was it elves?
Oh god, yeah. They were like wood elves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like found a bunch of wood elves and ruined everyone's lives, basically.
They were at war with some hobgoblins on this island. Was it hobgoblins?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
hobgoblins. Hobgoblin fortress.
Yeah. So they were fighting this war, and we they needed our help, being D&D. So what did we do? Did we?
It was the goblins had poisoned the lake. Was
Oh yeah.
a thing that they had done. Well, I think basically they said that they didn't tell you. I don't think that the goblins had poisoned the lake. I think they were saying that they'd done something and monsters kept coming out of the lake, like monstrous things. And through all of the time, you managed to kill all the monsters, and like there was a big boss, like Cthulhu type thing that came out and attacked like another village, that was also under effect of the lake stuff. But like, through none of the time did you successfully investigate anything. All of the investigate rolls failed miserably, to the point where they never found out what the poison was or where the source of it was. So they had thought they'd done their duty by killing the big monster, and they'd assumed everything was fine.
Basically, that whole campaign was just our entire group going around, walking around the map, just going bears, killing anything that was in our way, not listening to anyone else.
Anything that wasn't
Just like,
bears.
bears, kill,
And then we were
bears,
trying to-
kill, bears, kill.
We were thinking of breeding them as well, weren't we?
Yeah, until we got one left.
Yeah. We were.
Was the attack on? I remember an attack on a fortress where we were all flying at some point, but Patrick's character couldn't fly, but he could airwalk, so he was doing like a spiral staircase in the air.
Yeah,
for, like,
I remember this really pissed me off because I'd done this mission for ages, and of course I forgot there were magic users who could just fly.
Yeah.
So
I
we
was
just flew
like,
into the top turret.
Is
Yeah,
this the
yeah.
same one where the incident with the Wyvern, which we'll do in a separate video?
yeah, a lot happened in this campaign. Like a lot of side stuff happened.
It was a beautiful campaign.
It was very mismatched, but it was actually really cool how much happened. I forgot how much happened, but yeah, there was this whole mission that I'd done planning out loads. This was going to be my sort of good, officially planned mission where I had like the room plans done and everything. I had like this whole keep planned out. Shut the fuck up. And like there was this general who was like an actual cool character who I liked, and I think a few of you ended up thinking was pretty cool before you like immediately fucked the mission over. And he was like, right, okay, so we've got hostages, like a hostage in the top of the building who's like a duke's son or something. I can't remember what he was. He was important, and like there was this mercenary company that I'd put loads of time into making that had taken over the fort. And he said, right, there's this underground passageway that will lead you into the like wine cellar where you can work your way up to the tower and get in and rescue the Duke's son.
And we basically went, nah, fuck
Yeah,
that.
it was Isaac who was like, I can make us fly, why don't we just fly up? And he went, oh, that would work too.
Yeah.
And just kind of looked at his plans like he'd failed his life as a general. Like, he made the general have a life crisis. Like,
The thing is though, like, yeah, we could all sort of fly, or like I was cast flight on and I was like carried, but like Patrick's character had like airwalking or something.
Yeah, it
So
was-
we had to like make spiral steps in the air. Like we were standing on the floor just watching him ascend higher and higher, high enough. And then we were like, okay, now let's go. Just watching him just go up the spiral staircase.
yeah,
in
he
the
just
air, like,
walked his way up the stairs while all
Yeah.
the men on the ground were just watching this idiot climb fake stairs all the way up to the top of the building. And then you entirely bypassed all of my planning bar one room by doing that. It was horrible.
Didn't we
But-
set fire to it as well?
Yes, I think we did.
Oh,
Sweet.
God. Yeah, you burnt it down and got kills for everyone in there. Because you were like, oh, we didn't get the XP for killing everyone, and then like Isaac just burnt it down and killed everyone inside except the hostage. You flew the hostage out and then
Oh, yeah,
set
that
fire
was
to the
it.
building.
I flew him out, didn't I?
Yeah, you flew him out, and then
I think we looted some of the weapons in there as well, because we were in the armory room.
Yeah, you got to the final room with the hostage, the loot, took all the loot, took the hostage, and then killed all the enemies with a fire they didn't even see coming.
I hope you're learning, children. This is how you beat D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, this is how you beat D&D. Make the DM hate his life, and you'll win.
And get bears.
It's bloody miserable because of all this stuff you've been doing and just slaughtering everything instead of doing any actual investigative work, you got really high level.
Yeah.
And at that point, you sort of
we went back to the island because the hobgoblins would struggle too much with them. We went back to the
because you went to the Goblin Fortress like, oh, let's just attack it straight away. Looked at it, was like, that's too hard the first time, and just went, fuck it, we're leaving.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It was like a unanimous decision of, does anyone care about the elves? No. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So we come back and they're all basically wiped out, aren't they? The elves.
Yeah. The elves got screwed.
So we're like, oh shit.
You had like one elf tracker with you.
Yeah.
For a bit. I can't remember what happened to him.
Oh yeah, that was it. That we did a bargain with the elves so that they'd send some people with us to help us. And
I remember, and they were
return we'd come back and help them.
They were mostly archers.
Yeah, you didn't. I can't remember what he did. I think he left you because you were being assholes.
Yeah. So we came back.
I think they were mostly archers though, so they didn't really help us very much.
Yeah.
We came back.
They were badass. They were doing really good.
Oh, yeah,
I remember.
They did, yeah.
They were like the crack shot team. I was like cheering every time I was playing as them because they were just wrecking house.
I remember now, yeah, because I was just too busy playing Waywocket's crazy kill streak.
You were just murdering. There was just bloodlust for you, and then like enemies were just getting sniped all over the place by these elves.
Waywocket will forever and ever be my all-time favorite character because she was just insane, and like she didn't even start off that way either. Like she developed to be that way. And
broken characters
playing characters
break
like
over
that.
time are the best. They're so good to play.
I miss her so much, genuinely.
Once we'd found the ruins of the Wood Elf village, we then proceeded to cross the bridge and find the hobgoblins.
We set fire to the bridge as well, didn't we?
Yes, but I think we did. At which
we were
point,
very pyromaniac-y back then.
At which point we then just basically walked in and just slaughtered the entire lot because of how far we'd leveled up by then.
It was
kept some of them as slaves, and that was the new base of operations. Hello guys, Fox here. If you enjoyed the video, please like and let us know if you want to see more of this kind of thing. We really enjoyed making it and we'd love to do more in the future. See ya!